It was supposed to be an ordinary Friday night. I had just finished my shift at a grocery store in Phoenix, Arizona, and was driving home a little after 10:30 p.m. The roads were quiet, and the desert air was unusually cold for September. I turned up the radio and stopped at a red light when every phone around me suddenly exploded with the same deafening sound. The unmistakable Amber Alert tone echoed from nearby cars, restaurants, and people walking on the sidewalk. Drivers grabbed their phones. Pedestrians froze. Even my phone lit up with the emergency notification. I sighed, expecting another missing child alert. But the moment I looked at the screen, every drop of blood drained from my face. The alert didn't show a missing child. It showed me. My own driver's license photo filled the screen beneath bold red letters that read, "Missing person, last seen 15 minutes ago." Under the picture were my full name, my age, my height, and even the clothes I was wearing at that exact moment. I read the words again and again, convinced I was hallucinating. "If you see this individual, do not approach. Call 911 immediately." My hands began shaking so badly that I nearly dropped my phone. I looked through the windshield and realized something terrifying. The woman in the car beside me was staring directly at me, then slowly comparing my face to the alert on her phone. Within seconds, panic spread through the intersection. A man stepped out of his pickup truck while pointing at me. Someone shouted, "That's him." Another driver immediately dialed 911. I slammed my foot on the gas just as the traffic light turned green. Cars behind me honked as I sped through the intersection, my heartbeat pounding louder than the engine. In the rearview mirror, I saw two vehicles pulling out behind me. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Then they followed every turn I made. My phone buzzed again. Another emergency notification appeared. This one contained only a single sentence: "Do not let them catch you." I pulled into an abandoned gas station, hoping to lose whoever was following me. The two cars drove past without stopping, disappearing into the darkness. My breathing slowly returned to normal. I stepped out of the car and called 911, desperate for answers. The dispatcher answered immediately, but before I could explain anything, she interrupted me. Her voice suddenly became cold and strangely calm. "Sir," she whispered, "if you received that alert, you need to leave. They already know where you are." The call abruptly disconnected. A second later, every light inside the abandoned gas station flickered on by themselves. From somewhere behind the building, I heard slow footsteps, followed by someone quietly saying my name. I backed away from the gas station, my phone still clutched tightly in my hand. The emergency alert remained on the screen, but something had changed. A countdown had appeared beneath my photo. Recovery team arrival, 14 minutes. My heart pounded as I looked around the empty parking lot. The footsteps had stopped. The silence felt unnatural, as if the entire city were holding its breath. Then, from the darkness behind the building, a man slowly walked into the light. He wore an ordinary police uniform, but there was something wrong with him. His badge had no number, his name tag was completely blank, and he never blinked. He simply smiled and said, "We've been looking everywhere for you." Every instinct screamed at me not to trust him. "Who are you?" I asked, taking another step backward. The officer ignored the question and calmly held up his own phone. The exact same Amber Alert was displayed on the screen. My face, my name, my clothes. "You don't understand," he said. "Everyone in Arizona has received this alert. Hundreds of people are searching for you right now." He reached for his radio, but instead of police chatter, a distorted voice whispered through the speaker, "Target confirmed." Before I could react, the officer took one step toward me. I turned and ran. I sprinted across the deserted parking lot and disappeared into a narrow alley behind the gas station. My lungs burned as I climbed a chain-link fence and dropped into the backyard of an abandoned warehouse. Just as I thought I'd escaped, every phone inside my pocket began vibrating at once. Not just mine. Old forgotten phones scattered across the ground inside the warehouse suddenly lit up together. Their screens displayed my photograph beneath the words, "Sighting confirmed." One by one, they started ringing with the same deafening emergency alert tone. It echoed through the empty building like hundreds of alarms calling someone to my location. Suddenly, headlights flooded through the broken warehouse windows. Black SUVs surrounded the building from every direction. Their engines shut off at the same time. The doors slowly opened and several people stepped out wearing dark suits instead of police uniforms. None of them carried weapons. Instead, each one held a tablet displaying my face. My phone buzzed one last time with a new message that made my blood run cold. Correction. You were never the missing person. You're the witness. I hid behind a stack of rusted shipping containers as the men in black suits spread through the warehouse with military precision. They weren't shouting or searching like normal police officers. They moved silently, checking their tablets every few seconds as if they already knew exactly where I was. One of them stopped only a few feet away from my hiding place and quietly said into his earpiece, "The witness is still alive. Timeline remains unstable." Timeline. My mind raced. What kind of investigation was this? Before I could make sense of it, another alert flashed across my phone. Do not trust the recovery team. They cannot let you remember. The message disappeared almost instantly, as though someone had remotely deleted it. A sudden explosion echoed outside the warehouse, followed by screaming tires. The suited agents rushed toward the entrance, giving me a chance to escape through a broken side door. Across the street, an old yellow taxi screeched to a stop beside me. The driver rolled down the window and shouted, "Get in if you want to live." Normally, I would have never trusted a stranger, but I had no choice. I jumped into the back seat just as two black SUVs accelerated toward us. The driver floored the gas pedal, weaving through downtown Phoenix while the SUVs chased us at high speed. Without taking his eyes off the road, he handed me a sealed envelope. "Don't open it until you're ready to know the truth," he said. My hands trembled as I tore it open anyway. Inside was a newspaper clipping dated tomorrow. The front page headline read, "Phoenix man prevents mass shooting, dies saving 43 lives." Beneath the headline was my photograph. It described how I had stopped a gunman inside a crowded subway station the following morning, sacrificing my own life in the process. The article even included eyewitness quotes and police statements that hadn't happened yet. At the bottom of the page, someone had written a message in red ink. "If they capture you tonight, tomorrow never happens." My heartbeat thundered in my ears. Was the Amber Alert never about finding a criminal? Was someone trying to stop me from saving dozens of innocent people? The taxi suddenly came to a violent stop beneath an overpass. The driver looked at me through the rearview mirror with eyes full of fear. "They're here," he whispered. Black helicopters circled overhead, while dozens of black SUVs blocked every road ahead. Agents stepped out, surrounding the taxi from every direction. Then every phone inside every vehicle vibrated at exactly the same moment. A brand new emergency alert appeared across every screen. This time there was no photograph, just 7 chilling words. "The witness remembers. Begin final recovery protocol." The agents surrounded the taxi with impossible precision, their black SUVs forming a perfect circle beneath the overpass. None of them drew weapons. Instead, they simply stood there, staring at me as though they had finally found something they'd been hunting for years. One of them stepped forward and calmly spoke through a loudspeaker. "Ethan Carter, this is your final warning. Exit the vehicle voluntarily." My taxi driver locked the doors and whispered, "Don't believe anything they say. They aren't trying to arrest you, they're trying to erase you." Before I could ask what he meant, every digital billboard above the highway suddenly switched to my photograph. The same Amber Alert flashed across every screen. Target located. The taxi driver accelerated straight toward a narrow service tunnel beneath the freeway. The pursuing SUVs couldn't fit through the entrance, buying us only a few seconds. We came to a stop inside an abandoned emergency command center filled with old computers and radio equipment. Dust covered everything except for one glowing monitor waiting as if it had been expecting me. On the screen played security footage from tomorrow afternoon. I watched myself standing inside a crowded Phoenix subway station. Seconds later, a masked gunman entered carrying an assault rifle. The future version of me tackled him before he could fire, saving dozens of people. The camera froze just as I was fatally shot protecting a little girl. The taxi driver quietly looked at me and said, "That is the future they're trying to prevent." He finally revealed the truth. Years earlier, the government had secretly developed an artificial intelligence capable of predicting major disasters before they happened. To protect the timeline, the system sent emergency alerts to ordinary citizens. But one prediction changed everything. According to the AI, my sacrifice tomorrow would inspire thousands of people and expose the secret program to the world. To stop that future, the agency issued a fake Amber Alert using my identity, convincing millions of people to unknowingly hunt me down before I ever reached the subway station. I was never the missing person. I was the only witness to a future they wanted erased. Suddenly, every monitor displayed the same warning in bright red letters. Timeline lock, 03 minutes remaining. Without another word, I sprinted toward the subway station. Sirens echoed through the city as helicopters searched overhead. When I arrived, everything matched the footage perfectly. The commuters, the arriving train, even the little girl holding her mother's hand near the platform. Then I saw him. The masked gunman stepped off the train exactly as the video had shown. I charged at him before anyone else noticed. A violent struggle broke out and the station erupted into chaos. Police officers rushed in while terrified passengers escaped. I managed to force the rifle away just before it fired into the crowd. The gunman looked directly into my eyes and smiled. "You were always supposed to be here," he whispered before pulling the trigger one final time. I woke up in a hospital 2 days later with a bullet wound in my shoulder instead of my heart. The doctors called it a miracle. News channels hailed me as the man who stopped a tragedy that could have killed dozens of innocent people. The government denied that any strange Amber Alert had ever been sent. According to official records, it never existed. Months later, I replaced my broken phone and tried to move on with my life. One quiet evening, every phone inside a crowded coffee shop suddenly blared with the familiar emergency alert tone. People reached into their pockets in confusion. I glanced at the nearest screen, and my blood turned to ice. The alert displayed another photograph. It wasn't me this time, it was you. Beneath the picture were 7 chilling words. "Missing person, last seen reading this story.